The first couple we have is Jeannie and Brendan. Before we see their dance, I just want to mention one thing. This Halloween night is called Villains Night, right? So I'm assuming everybody over here is going to have some kind of a villain storyline. It's interesting because the thing to mention right away is that you're going to have, there's 9 couples, 10 couples left. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 Paso Dobles, 1, 2, 3, 4 tangos, a jive and a jazz and a Viennese waltz. So it's a, people rightfully so picked like the sort of like the darkest kind of like the darker, if you will, themes. And so you're going to see a lot of comparison. This is a risque move for whoever chose to be in those packs of Paso Doble and Tango, because now you got, people sort of basically being put up against each other. And so, you have these 2 dominant groups that include the front runners, if you will. And I think a lot of things are going to start to become a little clear. Anyway, Jeannie and Brendan with their Paso Doble up first.
Dancing the Paso Doble with her partner Brendan, it's Jeannie Mai.
Let's go, Hannibal Lecter. I love this. Okay. Let's go, Jeannie. All right, let's go. Nice plate with a brain in it or something. Ah, man, I already know it's gonna be hard. This whole episode is gonna be difficult. Let's go. And she licked his arm. I get it. Anyway, Jeannie. So this was highly documented that I'm a big fan. This weeks ago up number they did set them apart as my personal probably favorite at that time. Anyway, they still are. I think Jeannie is great. She's so fun. She's so energetic. She's so expressive. There's a lot of presentation. The presence is big. She's tackling every performance fully. You could see 110% effort everywhere. So, but hear me out. I made 2 notice on the iPad while this dance was happening. One, I looked at the time and it said, I'm gonna tell you right now what it said. It said 38, if I don't mistake. Yeah, 37. So 37 seconds the first time they got into a couple and did the first dance. Okay, so that was first mention. And the second mention I made was the second time, and it was at at this point now that I'm watching back, at around 131 is when they sort of separated. She did a couple of more steps running towards the stairs, and the dance was over, basically, now that we know that, right? So you had between 38 and 31, you had a minute of Paso Doble. And in that minute, I personally didn't see enough steps for me to look at Paso Doble and evaluate Paso Doble. I'm not saying It's not a knock on Brendan. It's just in general, like I think that Paso Doble as a dance, you know, needs to be presented a little bit more. Okay? So for me, it's not that hard, you know, because it's a march-based dance. Counts are even. There's basically even steps and syncopations. I have a lot of suggestions choreographically. I have a lot of suggestions for Brendan for next one type of thing. It wasn't a bad performance, don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is that it's not enough paso for me, right? So I have to evaluate what I got. And I can't help but be taken away from, you know, be pulled away from positively looking at this to the direction that it does make a difference. It does make a difference that you get a minute 38 routine and you only do a minute maybe of actual dance. It does make a difference. You know, if the song is doing this and you don't reflect it in your movement, even though you're moving up the stairs or you're playing out the characters, you're removing the mask and all that, like all of that could be done in a dance way. All of that could be done in a little bit more choreographical way. And so what's happening is this. Brendan's doing a great job as a partner to Jeannie Mai, right? Specifically to her. And he's doing a great job in camouflaging things, doing a great job in slowing things down for her. And I think it's great. I think he needs to do now start to do a better job in saying, I gotta do that more and I have to be even more intelligent about this. So I think this kid has a lot more to offer. I'm not worried about him. I'm just worried that they need to do more. They need to do more dance, more Paso Doble, so that I can say, you know, even though I could clearly see that she's not very comfortable in stepping. She's not very comfortable in doing sort of movements with the legs. She's extremely comfortable performing. Everything from waist up is incredible. The performance value is that, the connection is that, they clearly have a nice dynamic together. She's not off her feet, she's not off her balance, but you know, she has moments when clearly the attempt is to just like stand here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going 1, right? So I'm, you know, when it's 1, 2, it's nice, but when it's like a constant and repetitive, it feels like there may be a choreographical struggle on both ends. So anyway, I think this is a good performance, not a great performance. It's a good performance. I want them to go up. I want them to keep going. You know, because I get to do it here. Last time they did a rumba and it was a 9. I had a different reaction, you know, as I was looking at that dance versus me looking at this dance. This is the first dance of the night for me. It's the first performance I'm seeing. So I have nothing to compare up against except for the feeling that I got out of her rumba versus this. To me, this is an 8. Because it's Halloween night, because it is about this character, because she did play him well, and because she puts out 110 in presentation effort. So I'm willing to sort of like, you know, off balance it a little bit. But I definitely need to see more dancing out of this couple moving forward if they are to kind of make that final stretch run and really try to cross the finish line in a different place that they're in now, whatever they may think the place that they're in. Good job. A good way to start the show for me. I don't know if they were first or not.